All right, veuillez vous lever.
The trial of Ali Muhammad Ali Abd-Al-Rahman continued at the International Criminal Court in The Hague, the Netherlands. From 18th to 19th October 2023, legal representatives of victims presented views and concerns of their clients before the chamber by presenting two participating victims. They both testified via video link with various levels of protective measures before the three judges of Trial Chamber 1, comprised of Presiding Judge Joanna Connor, Judge Rene Alapini Gansu, and Judge Althea Violet Alexis Windsor. Mr. Abd al-Rahman, the alleged leader of the Janjaweed militia, is accused of 31 counts of war crimes and crimes against humanity allegedly committed in Darfur, Sudan, between August 2003 and at least April 2004. These crimes include directing attacks against a civilian population, murders, pillaging, rape, persecution, torture, cruel treatment, and other inhumane acts. The trial opened at the International Criminal Court in The Hague in April 2022, and so far, 54 witnesses were called by the Office of the Prosecutor, and 2, on the request of the Chamber, testified in the courtroom. The defense team of Mr. Abd al-Rahman also had an opportunity to question the prosecution witnesses. Legal representative of victims, Ms. Natalie von Wistenhausen, and her associate counsel, Anand Shah, are representing over 700 victims participating in this trial. In their opening statements in June 2023, they presented the history and the systematic nature of the attacks against full population in Darfur and the harm their clients suffered due to the attacks. The two participating victims and one witness, called by the legal representatives of victims in June, testified about the living conditions in Darfur before and during the conflict and the life in the IDP camps. In the continuation of the trial, on 18th and 19th October 2023, the two participating victims presented their views and concerns to the judges. Both victims testified about attacks in their specific home villages. Participating victim V0005 testified about the attacks in her home village near Courtroom in 2003.
Well, the attack happened on Kudum on the 15th of August 2003. It started at 6 in the morning with the prayer in the morning. People were still getting ready to go to the mosque to pray, and the attackers shot heavy fires on the village. We were scared. With our children, we headed to the forest and we remained there. In the forest, we did not stay long. We stayed for 14 days, 2 weeks. After that, we returned to the village at about 10 or 11 in the morning. We did not stay there long before the attack returned, more severely though, and they killed the people who were unable to run, children and elderly, and they looted whatever was found or left behind, all the properties and the cattle. And they also raped all the girls that they found outside of the village. I remember there was one woman and a girl that were raped.
Following the attacks, both participating victims left their villages and went to seek refuge in various IDP camps. Both victims expressed the difficulties they faced living in IDP camps. Specifically, participating victim V0004 recalled that life in the IDP camp was very difficult. Basic needs such as food, medical services, education were scarce and very limited. He testified on the food situation at the IDP camp.
There were international organizations active there, and they were distributing the food twice, maybe per day, and the situation was somewhat better. However, when the organizations left, the situation became difficult.
You mentioned that in the early years, the help organizations were very present and helped a lot. But those organizations eventually left the camp. Can you tell us when this was and why?
That was a part of the policy of the government. So the organizations were expelled.
In addition to the difficulties both victims faced in the IDP camps, participating victims V0005 testified that the recent attacks in Sudan earlier this year has made the situation in IDP camps even worse.
Can you, madam, tell us how, if and how the situation in the camp has changed since the new outbreak of the conflict in April of this year?
The situation in the camps has become very difficult after the recent war, because before the war we used to have access to some limited services such as hospitals as well as the presence of organizations. Yet after this war the situation has exacerbated.
Both participating victims expressed their views and concerns before the chamber. Participating victim V0005 expressed her concern regarding the safety situation in IDP camps.
I appeal to the court to provide security and safety, because we struggle a lot because of the lack thereof. I would like to enjoy this sort of security whereby I can walk to the openness or to the forests without being worried, without worrying of being followed. I would like also to request the ICC to disarm the Janjaweed who still commit crimes and unspeakable horrors in Darfur. Also, we would like to request that safety and security for our communities in the camps.
In addition, both victims testified about the importance of victims and witnesses to come and testify before the chamber. Specifically, participating victims V0004 testified about the importance for him to come and testify before the chamber.
At the beginning, I would like to thank the court for the procedures, for these proceedings. Concerning this case is for all the refugees and the displaced person, for all the children and for the widows. These proceedings are important for them, and I hope that justice will be achieved. And we know that the law is above everything, and whatever is achieved by law will be satisfying for the people that I mentioned.
Participating victim V0005 further requested support from the ICC.
We need all the help possible from the court. We urge the court to provide security, education, hospitals, and places where we can get water or water sources, because we have to walk for approximately an hour to get water, and we carry water on donkeys. In order to be able to get 2 bags of water, plastic bags of water, we live in very difficult situations, and we would like to request help, and also we are interested in justice.
The prosecution and the defense teams did not question both the participating victims, and consequently, they concluded their testimony. The trial in the case of the prosecutor versus Ali Muhammad Ali Abd-Al-Rahman continued on Thursday, 19th October 2023, with the opening statements of Abd-Al-Rahman defense team.